been through it multiple times, and I'm now starting to experience it all over again. Okay, so here I'm giving myself actually only 2 years. Okay, because traditionally Bitcoin and crypto markets last for about 2 years. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come without any ups and downs. Okay, it is. Trust me. In fact, the first year that I got into crypto, which was 2017, I probably experienced, I think I did the math the other day. I think it was close to about 20 times from, when was it? From June of 2017 until, let's say, the blow off top, December of 2017 for Bitcoin. 20 times where Bitcoin dipped below, went down more than 20%. And usually it was like 30, 40%. Okay. So you got to understand that this is a long-term gain, and you've got to just really, really have balls of steel. All right. Moving forward. And that's why we've created this community so that we can, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, instead of balls of steel, I'm going to say, because not all of us are there, I'm going to say in a equipped protection of steel. All right. Equipped protection of steel. Because if not, you're going to get absolutely annihilated if you don't know what you're doing. And again, this equipment of steel that's going to protect you is this community. Okay. And we've learned some of these lessons the hardest way that you could learn. The hardest way that you could learn. Okay. And those to me are the best lessons, because now I know way better than I did back in 2017. I mean, way better, exponentially better. I know way better than when I was in the market in 2020 through 2022. And I'm sure I'm going to be laced with all sorts of lessons even this time, because while markets often rhyme, okay, they're not always quite the same. They're not always quite the same. So it's not an exact science. It's a very subjective type of science. Okay. But that's again what this community is here for. Okay. We're here to be realistic. We're here to understand, okay, like, where is the trend going? Is the dollar, I believe that this time around the dollar was a better bet to go into after the end of 2021 when Bitcoin started to decline. But will that be in 2025 or 2026? Or will Bitcoin now be worth a million or 10 million or whatever a Bitcoin? All right. Right now, let's take a look at the chart real fast. Trading view. So this is the chart since 2012. Okay, this is the chart since 2012. So Bitcoin has had, some very, very big ups, followed by some tremendous downs. Okay, some tremendous downs. But these downs have always been correlated with just people selling off because it was just so new. But now we've got all of these huge institutions that are getting into Bitcoin, where this thing could really, really go parabolic. All right. And we're starting to see things occur like the Bitcoin halving. Let's just take the Bitcoin halving of last time, because the Bitcoin halving basically happens every 4 years. Okay. So let's take a look at from the bottom of 2018. Right here's the bottom. Okay. And let's go all the way over across to April 20th of um of 2020. Okay. Hold on, let me redo this here. Let me just make sure I'm on the right. right there. Okay, so from there to there, Bitcoin went up by 187%. Okay, but it did not hit its all-time high. So right here, okay, during the last halving, Bitcoin hit not even half of its all-time high, which its all-time high was over here, okay, which was on the weekly was $19,000. Okay, was $19,000. So the halfway point for this 8,500, well, actually, no. Okay, it did hit the halfway point. Did hit the halfway point. What makes this halving so special is if we mark from here, we haven't even hit the halving. We have about one more month to go. And we're at, basically 61,000. We're up 292%, way more than last time. Way more than last time. And we're slightly off. Let me see if I can actually blow this up so I can this and show some clarity. All right, let's see what from here to here, which is the all-time high. And that's like a can of wit. We're only 10% away compared to a little bit over 100% away last bull market. Okay, so why is this occurring right now? Well, the institutions right now are buying 12 times the amount of Bitcoin than is being produced per day, and that's called mining. Okay, I have 3 miners. Okay, one of them isn't a Bitcoin miner, but 2 of them are. That's tremendous. Now, what happens during a Bitcoin halving? What happens during a Bitcoin halving? The amount of Bitcoin produced gets cut in half. So I think there's I think it's something like 900 Bitcoin get produced per day. How many Bitcoin are going to be produced if it gets cut in half, everybody? By the way, for those of you who are new, I like doing math. I like people responding here. 450, 450, exactly, 450. So this could really, really take Bitcoin and cryptos along with it to the next level, Now, I want to show y'all this chart because this chart is really, really important before I get into my next stuff here. I've been having issues with this with this thing here the last few days. I don't know what's going on with it. All right, let's see. Is there a way to since though? Okay, Bitcoin right now has a very, very heavy dominance. Very heavy dominance, okay? But let me show you all how far we've got to go right now. Okay, how far we've got to go. So we've got this thing called Bitcoin dominance, which is when Bitcoin is like the majority of the market cap. The majority of the market cap. Now, the last cycle that we had here, okay, you can clearly see this was when I first got in, okay? The altcoins are a lagging indicator. Altcoins are anything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? Altcoins are always a lagging indicator. But Bitcoin is like the gateway drug. All right. Bitcoin is the gateway drug for everybody to get into crypto. All right. But once people start getting bored with Bitcoin, what do people start doing? It spills over into Ethereum, and then it starts spilling over into all of the altcoins thereafter. So right now, here's where we're at. And look at even back here. This is 2021. Okay, I'm sorry, 2028. Oh, sorry, 2018. Look at where it went 2018, how it blasted through. Look at how it went here. It went under here big time and blasted through here. And look at what we just broke here. This is what we call resistance. This line here is called resistance. So what we can expect is another probably 4x. And if you're in the right cryptos, that could be 10x, 20x. And if you're doing what we're doing in the managed vault, it might even be more. Now, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, and I'm going to use some real conservative numbers today because we want to plan conservatively. We don't want to like redline this thing and then we fall short and we're like really upset. So what I did here was I put $5,000, all right, $5,000 to invest to start with. And then I put 500 monthly contributions. And now I averaged out our last 6 months of gains inside of the managed vault. Okay, I averaged out and I just basically asked ChatGPT, I said, what would happen if we kept going, okay, in the same trajectory that we're in right now? And I'm going to show you some past performers in the managed vault to show you that this is also very possible, okay? So if you come here, we're going to change this to 261%, and we're going to calculate this. So after 2 years, as long as I'm dollar cost averaging, so it takes all of that into consideration, and I'm just following my strategy, the goods, the downs, the ups, okay? Right here, I would be at $819,000. 819,000. Pretty darn close to my $1 million thing that I want. And I think I'll do it because I have some cryptos in there that are going to do way more than 261%. I'm sure of it. Now, the key thing here is keeping that money. Okay? The key thing here is keeping that money. All right? If you don't keep that money, then this was all for nothing. So you do have to understand that. And we've got some really, really key indicators that we got here. Now, let's say, for instance, okay, I got this 819,000. All right. What does that mean to me in terms of like a passive income? Okay. So let's say, for instance, we have 819,000. All right. And again, I've dropped the links in here. Got 819,000. And let's say I want to have $100,000 per year. But I'm also getting an annual return of 15%, which I'm actually working on something in beta. I'm not going to share it today, but I'm working on something in beta that's doing roughly about 60% per year, that I think everybody's going to really like. But it's in beta right now. All right. So chill. And we've got time right now. Is not the time to be thinking about the 60% per year. Right now is the time to be thinking about the 10x because we're in a bull market right now. Okay. But these are some of the lessons that I learned. Okay. So right here, 3 years, 15. Okay. So if I were to just have this $819,000, that would be able to supply me 14 years. Now, let's say I live in another country and I don't need quite as much. I'm living like a king off $7,000 or $70,000 per year. That'll last me 100+ years. All right, that'll last me 100+ years. Do you see though how if you understand how to use these calculators and how to start planning? And by the way, I want to actually build this into our app. And if you haven't downloaded the app, by the way, okay, it connects to your account. It's called Arc EDU on the Google and on the Apple. It's awesome, guys. You can actually even watch, I think you can watch this Saturday school from there. You can watch a lot of the classes on Zoom there, which is really, really cool. So yeah, go ahead and go to the App Store, download that. But we're gonna work on building this out as well. But let's say, for instance, I've got a couple more zeros in my portfolio right now, and this last month I actually dollar cost averaged in 20,000, which I'm gonna dollar cost average way more. And let's say I'm doing 261% to give you the opposite side of the spectrum. So I just showed you, like, if you don't have a lot of money, you can do this. So I just showed you, if you don't have a lot of money, you can do this. But if you have a little bit of money stashed away, okay, check this out. This turns into 66 million. Now, I spent a lot of time in R&D and DeFi in the last bull market, and I was able to turn 15,000 into 2.5 million, excuse me, 2.5 million. Okay. I've had friends who have done this level of gains before. All right. I had one friend who started off with thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. He was a school teacher and he ended up with $50 million doing very similar stuff that we're doing in this bull market, things that we've learned. Okay. So fine. The second one was the gold ETF, and that did a 9x over a span of, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. 9x. Now, gold is not as scarce as Bitcoin. People are kind of getting tired of gold. You can't eat it. If the end of the world comes, really, what's it used for? Are you going to throw it at somebody if they try to steal your food? All right. Maybe it has some medicinal stuff, which I'm cool with, but obviously there's not that big of a supply and demand issue there. Otherwise, we'd be out of gold, or we'd be trying to get more out of the ground because we weren't storing it. So this is a big deal. All right, this is a big deal, and I think that, again, right now, y'all are here during the best time possible. Now, what are we going to be talking about today? All right, what are we going to be talking about today? So today the first week of every month, we have a class called Saturday School. We call it Inside the Managed Vault. All right, Inside the Managed Vault, where we're going to go through the Managed Vault. This is a decentralized way for us to manage your money. So for those of you who don't know what I was talking about earlier, the Managed Vault is a decentralized way for us to earn you money, to manage your portfolio, but you have custody of it. I can't take that money, and if at any given point in time you want to pull it out, you can do so. Okay, you can do so. Now, there's tax advantages for those of you that are in the US or US type tax jurisdictions where this grows tax deferred. This grows tax deferred, and we're working right now on building out an infinite crypto banking loop where you'll never have to pay taxes legally on your gains. Okay, we're meeting with the developers. We met with them last week, and we've now acquired a domain that's really cool. I'll tell you all here in a little bit, but this is going to be a way for you all to shelter your money from, to be quite frankly, a government that's just overspending and is driving their country into the financial ground. So I'd rather y'all keep that money, because this is the future. This is the future. Now, the Managed Vault here, anybody can get into this, by the way. Anybody can get into this. So if you want to refer your family, friends, it doesn't matter. There's no referral fee on it, but we're working on something down the line. Maybe in the next 6 or 7 months, you'll see something like that. But you can see what we've done over the last 6 months, and we're up 112,000. Sorry, 112%. All right, 112,000%. Who knows? Maybe one day we will. Now, I see somebody here putting Roth IRA checkbook LLC. So we're actually working, for those of you who are wondering, if you can transfer your Roth IRA or your 401k over here, we're actually starting to work with a company that will help you do a self-directed IRA and a self-directed 401k to move into the Managed Vault. All right, so we're working on all sorts of really, really, really cool stuff. Will this tax shelter apply to ARK investors outside the US? Absolutely. Absolutely it will. Okay, and I'm not an accountant. You have to talk to your accountant, but I believe that it definitely will. That it definitely will. So we've been crushing it over the last 6 months. Can everybody please mute yourselves? I can't see who it is that's not muted. Or if I have a DJ in here, can you please mute them? Let's see. All right. Now I got to go looking for. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. So the cool thing though is you can see here what all of our returns have been since day one. All right. Since day one. Now, from September of 2022 till March, or the beginning of March of 2023, we were in beta and we didn't have our strategy locked down. All right. We didn't have our strategy locked down. We were beta testing this. Okay. We were understanding the ins and outs. So, the strategy was based on something that I was doing personally that I saw was working, and that was called liquidity pool mining. And you can see here, this is where long-term thinking gets you way ahead, everybody. Gets you way, way ahead. All right. Now, you see here, okay, we had down months as soon as we implemented this strategy, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to hate us. And I was like, patience, patience. Just keep doing what we're doing. Just keep liquidity pool mining, and we're going to be A-okay. We're going to be A-okay. Stop stressing out. Follow the strategy. It's going to work once this market starts to turn around. And lo and behold, the market did start to turn around in September. All right, coincidentally, exactly when we started the year before. And since then, we've had some amazing green months. All right. And up until this last month, our biggest month was 17.36%. But we blew that out of the water this month by almost double with a 32.03% gain this month. If you guys are excited about that, can you type that in the chat? Because I definitely want to see some excitement over this, because this is big news. This is big news, everybody. Big, big, big news. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, this is exciting. All right, awesome. And if you're new, type in. Like, if you like these numbers, type it in. Now, the cool part about this is there is no guarantees, guys and gals. There's no guarantees. All right? If you're in a good investment, nobody's going to ever guarantee you anything. Nobody's going to ever guarantee you anything. Okay? I've gotten into guaranteed investments, and now the only thing that I can guarantee you on those guaranteed investments is that a guaranteed investment return is a Ponzi scheme. That's what I can guarantee to you. All right? This is not a Ponzi scheme. You can see every single thing that's been transpiring here since the beginning, and I'm going to show you all here in a second, all right, how that works. So this is all connected to the blockchain. So we're actually using blockchain technology. This is not Binance. This isn't Coinbase. This is DeFi. This is why they created crypto. This is why Ethereum was created. Was so that we can interact as our own sovereign banks. Our own sovereign banks, okay? Now, if you want to get into this investment, there's a launch pad inside the ARK app that every single one of you has access to. You can start studying that launch pad today. You can start, well, you could have started studying the other day with Billy, all right? But you can start studying the Managed Vault Launchpad, and I've got a sequence of videos that takes you through our take profit strategy, our when we plan on cashing out, how it works, how to invest in it, how to insure it against exploits, all sorts of really, really cool things. All right, all sorts of really, really cool things. And this is growing like crazy. Now, here's the thing that I want everybody to notice. Okay, let me bring back that screen, this one. I want everybody to notice this. Remember how I showed you that right now we're still in this like altcoin lull? Well, the majority of our cryptos, we have a fine amount of Bitcoin, which has helped really balance us out and grow our portfolio. But our Bitcoin portfolio really accounts for, I don't know, a third of our portfolio. So we've been doing really good because we've been liquidity pool mining, earning fees so other people can trade peer-to-peer in a decentralized fashion. Okay, and every time somebody trades using any of these cryptos, we earn a fee. Okay, we earn a fee. Now, here's the cool part. Here's the cool part. What ends up happening is we take profit into these ones, but as I showed you here earlier, we're holding the majority in altcoins here, guys and gals. Which means our time in the sun has not come. Our time in the sun has not come. Look at this. All right, look at this. We are just getting started. So if you're afraid, did I miss out? Did I do all these things? If you would have come to me last year and students from last year, was I as sure as I am this year as I was last year in regards to the market going up? I mean, I knew inevitably it would go up, but I was not that sure that we were in our prime time. So what did I tell everybody? Just dollar cost average in. Bring in little by little. Okay? Right now is the time, in my opinion, for us to step on the gas because of this indicator right here, because of this breaking support. And I wish I could draw a line on this. I need to find the chart for this because I really want to understand exactly what the percentage gain would be from here to here. Now, let's take a look at like some past performance, and past performance does not guarantee future performance, okay? Obviously. And a lot of these cryptos have gotten a lot of gain already, okay? So they're probably not going to get this level of gain this time around, but let me show you where we're at, okay? And what types of gains we got. So when we started buying SNX, it was more or less around here during this bull market, this current bull market. Look at this chart. 50,000%. On this one alone, I made, let me see. Because I didn't get into this until about June of 2020. On this one alone, I made I think it was about 2,000%, but I was also earning more in SNX in fees. I was also earning more in SNX, so I probably made like another 300 or 400% on top of this because I gained more SNX in fees. Okay, I gained more SNX in fees. Look at this, Aave. Look at this. From here to here, 1,600%, and I was in Aave. I rode this all the way up from down here all the way up to here. 1,600%. Chainlink. This is about when we got into Chainlink during the last market. And look at this, 21,000%. Uniswap. For me, I ended up getting airdropped $2,000 worth of Uniswap. So my upside was, an airdrop means I got their cryptocurrency for free. But we're invested in this crypto again, and they've got new stuff that just came out. But look at this. Just from the time that I got that free crypto, I had a 15,000% return, and I was mining it. I was yield farming. It was called yield farming back then, which is a different strategy. It's, in my opinion, it no longer is valid in some cases. It's not as profitable as what we're doing, is what I'm trying to allude to. Okay. Now let's take a look at one managed vault. This is another managed vault, a competitor of ours. And look at what they did during the last bull market. Now they started right as Enzyme started. And look at these gains that they had. 63%, 33%, 37%, 28%, 59%, 25%, 15%. Huge, huge, huge gains during the last bull market. And they got in a little bit after the beginning of the bull market. I'm sorry, a little bit after the halfway point of the bull market. Okay, now here's the crazier part. These guys don't even know what they don't even know what they're really doing. Look at what they're invested in. They're just holding, which is what we tell people not to do. They're just holding Ethereum and they're holding FXS and they're holding Convex. That's their hugest, but they're not liquidity pool mining. So they're not earning additional fees. And they're only holding 3 of them. So, and it's shown, by the way, in our performance. Last month, again, we did 32%. They did 25%. All right. This month, we're almost double where they're at right here. The only month that they outperformed us here because they were holding pure ETH was here. Okay. They were up over 10%. But if you take the average, we're way above them. We're crushing them. We're crushing them. And it's because we've got a very, very diverse, and we're earning fees here and here and here and here. And I'll tell you, I go through our competitors. There is not one managed vault that is as comprehensive as us. Now, there's some that have outperformed us. Why? Because they're holding exclusively Bitcoin. Yeah, if I was holding exclusively Bitcoin, then of course we would have been higher than we are right now. But again, as you can see here in the, whoops, where's my, here. As you can see here, this is where the real gains are made. In the altcoin market, this is where the real gains are made. All right. So what, let's see here if there's anything else that I need to do. So what I want everybody to do is I want you to take, I'm going to drop these links in the chat again. I want you to start planning for your future. Okay, this is the calculator for how you're going to get there. I want you to start planning for your future. And I want you in the newsfeed in our app to profess what your goal is. How much money do you really want to have to live comfortably? And by the way, this $70,000, I live off less than that. All right. I live off less than that right now in Panama City, Panama. And I live like a king. Like most people are like, oh my gosh, having kids is so expensive, all this stuff. I'm like, I haven't even noticed it. I haven't even noticed having a kid. Oh, maybe we buy more diapers, but I'm like, I really haven't noticed the expense of having a kid. All right. Guys, in the newsfeed, in the app, ARK app, I want to see it there. And I want you to come with a number and calculate it. Don't just say I want 10 million. See, this is where the law of attraction gets mixed up. Everybody's just like, oh, 10 million, 10 million. How are you going to get to 10 million? How are you going to attract it? If you don't even know how to get there, you don't even have the blueprint laid out. Draw it out. What is it going to take? Is it realistic for you? Is it in the cards? Can you do that? Can you all do that for me? I want to see that. I want to read about it in the chat. Okay. So I'm going to pass it over to Igor, Coach Igor. He's going to go over some more details in the Managed Vault. Again, if you're interested in getting in the Managed Vault, which for me, I've got a lot of my money in the Managed Vault, and I plan on putting even more, especially, here's what my plan is, by the way, okay? There's a really, really nice building here in an area called Santa Maria. It's the nicest building in all of Panama. And it was designed by Fendi. You can get all Fendi furnishing and all stuff. And they run about $2 million. So what I plan on doing is putting a lot of my profits into the managed vault. Okay, because I'm managing it. I know I'm controlling it. Something that I know is going to happen. Maybe you want to just put it in because you may not have the time or the skills that we do. That's okay. If you don't have the skills, it's okay. We're going to teach you. We have some students who have all the skills in the world and they invest half in here and half somewhere else. All right. But what I'm going to do for tax purposes, I'm going to put it in here, and hopefully by August, I'm going to borrow at least half of the price. It's like 2 million bucks for this place. At least half of the price comes fully furnished, everything. And I'm going to buy me one of those big 4,000 square foot of sky palaces. All right. Sky palaces with the huge tub in my bathroom and all that, huge 2 walk-in closets, every luxury you could ever imagine. All right. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to borrow against it because I don't want to sell it. It'll create a taxable event. And then I know that it's going to keep going up. By August, we're not even done with the bull market. We're not even close to done. So I know it's going to keep going up. So why would I sell that to buy an asset that's not going to grow as quickly as this? You see what I'm saying? Okay, so this is what we want. This is what we want. But we need a plan. Does everybody understand that we need a plan? Type it in the chat. We need a plan. Now, Igor is going to give you some more details, and we have a raffle every single month. We have a raffle for you participating in the managed vault. All right, we're going to show you what's going on here. So everybody needs the plan. Let's go. Let's go. Super grateful for all of you to be here. All right. Igor, are you there?
Awesome. Yes, I am. And I'm ready.